Whitaker Avenue. This is it.
You sure?
I'm sure.
At last. That stench of stale grease about you reminds me too much of my old job.
Job you had.
You worked as a waiter?
I was a chef, and not in any old kitchen. At the
Of
maximum
course you were.
security penitentiary on Gore Island. Can't think of a better way to do time. And how do you think I met Alphonse? Playing golf?
Alphonse.
On the subject of cooking,
Yeah, I
what
would
do
want to
you
be
know
called L
about
instead of Alphonse
ambidextrous?
too.
Something.
Alphonse just sounds
I
stupid.
still don't know what.
Alphonse.
So what now? You got a plan?
Take a look around in case there's a rear exit. I'll take the main door.
My pleasure.
Anyway, greetings, guys. Welcome back from the holidays. Welcome to part 3 of Blues and Bullets.
The fact that a criminal like him can hang up his shingle in broad daylight says a lot about Santa Esperanza.
Especially if everybody knows that he's a. What do they call it?
Someone took out sections of the fence. Odd.
I don't recall. He works for the mafia and everybody
Interesting
knows.
taste. Been centuries since a gardener visited this house. Maybe Boccarini's business isn't going too well.
Place is a mess. Barred windows and everything. Doorbell.
The bell doesn't work. I guess Boccarini doesn't get many visitors. Boccarini? Carlo Boccarini?
Nothing of interest out back. Sorry. You better come see this, Mr. Ness.
What is it?
I don't know how to describe it.
Elliot Ness, man, he's got like 3 expressions. Face expressions. One is. The other is. And I've seen the third one.
Is that our man?
Boccarini.
My God.
Well,
We have to find
guess
out
we
who
figured
did
out
this
where those
and
missing
why.
part of the
Let's
fence
go.
went,
You're
you
the
know.
detective, Mr. Ness. Besides, Alphonse will want to see this. I'll be right back.
Serious.
All right.
Alphonse Capone.
I have to establish how Boccarini died. Maybe the body parts can shed some light on the motive.
So there's blood everywhere.
Holy
Oh, lovely. They
Christ,
removed his
what are we
eyes.
up against?
And his teeth.
His eyes were pulled clean out of their sockets. Whoever did this, it wasn't their first time. And if they committed any other murders like this, it's likely that the police found some of the bodies. I must remember to ask Alice. His teeth were all pulled out before he was killed. The
How do you
drip
know
of
that?
blood inside his mouth speaks for itself.
Suppose you could still pull teeth out after he's dead and there'll still be a lot of blood.
Pity he won't last till Christmas, because he'd almost pass for a tree.
I don't
There's
get
no
that.
doubt the murderer took his time.
Oh. Oh, lovely. He's missing a
This
hand.
isn't a cut, it's a tear. His hands were ripped off. Who has that kind of strength?
The end is near.
What's he got stuck in there? Looks like the bottom of a glass. It's Boccarini, no doubt about that. Although the one I remember was more together. Takes a strong man to tear that out. Or several.
found the place where it all started. There's blood in here. Floor like somebody dragged a body.
The evidence suggests that the events began in the lounge. How did Boccherini encounter his murderer? The blood comes from the other side of the corridor and ends next to the body. He was attacked in the other room and dragged to the hall. Whatever crushed the table must have been really heavy, or maybe it was thrown extremely hard.
About both.
A perfectly circular dint, as if someone had tried to hammer in a gigantic bolt, around 4 inches in diameter. Fingernails scratched the wood. Blood ran like water.
Just the way that he says things. Blood ran like water. Sounds like something you would say in a like an old spaghetti western.
Blood. Blood everywhere. Did it break during the struggle, or was it already broken?
Does it have any relevance?
What kind of person takes off a wristwatch without unfastening it? Or fastens the strap again after taking it off?
Probably fell off when the guy's hand was torn off.
This was opened recently. Smells of whiskey. Glass on the floor indicates the window was broken from outside.
Guess the attacker came in through the window. How did he know that? Come on.
Under there. How'd it wind up under there? Not one round fired. It must have happened fast. One knife's missing, the biggest one. What is it with Italians and olives? They lap those things up like caviar.
Guess the Italians can say the same thing about Americans then. What is it with Americans and caviar? They throw them down like they were olives.
Like a true bachelor, he should have put these into soak. Hours of scraping to get them clean. Although at this stage, I don't think Boccherini's too worried about that. 4 glasses. 2 of water, 2 of wine. I've always been a whiskey man, but I know a good wine when I see one. Leftover lasagna, and it looks good.
Oh, it looks great.
2 out of 3 Italian gangsters are great cooks. I'll never understand what the deal is with them and cooking. The plates and the glasses leave no room for doubt. Boccherini had company for dinner. Shut from the inside.
Smiling? Are you smiling, Elliot Ness? Yes, you are. It's the way that he runs around, too. Oh, there's more.
Jammed shut from the inside. Maybe between the 2 of us when Milton gets back. If I'm not mistaken, this door opens onto the same room as the locked door in the kitchen. Blood and some kind of sticky liquid.
Lovely.
What is that?
Colts. Something.
Oh shit. I should have stayed in my diner.
Come on, the neck. Are they really gonna make us do this? Really? I don't hope the police or detectives or anybody have to clean up these things too often. There's teeth in there.
Are these teeth from the body? Well, at least I know why his teeth were pulled out, more or less.
Why?
Looks like a ritual. What was Boccherini mixed up in?
Anything to say about the window?
This car looks too classy for a forger like Boccherini.
Alright, that's what he is. A forger.
Are there sufficient reasons to believe that when the murderer attacked Boccherini, there was someone else in the house? The first possibility to be ruled out is that the car belonged to Boccherini.
Or perhaps that there were two plates, fork, glasses.
Vermont plates. Someone drove a long way. Let's take a look in the glove compartment. Bingo. A man's cigarette case. OB. One of the Boccherini clan?
Look and see if we missed something. Looks like we have everything. So, the murder. What happened here?
Boccherini's teeth were all pulled out. The murderer tore Boccherini's hands off. Hands ripped off, teeth torn out. I guess I'll have to rule out criminal intent or a personal angle. Boccherini's eyes still haven't shown up. What if I look for whatever
The
was used
criminal.
to remove them?
Nevertheless, I'll call it a criminal intent.
A teaspoon stained with blood and some kind of sticky liquid. The mixture of sticky liquid and blood can only mean one thing. The spoon was used to remove Boccherini's eyes. The mutilations and the disappearance of his eyes suggest two possible motives. Psychopathy or cultist fanaticism.
Again,
Which is it?
both.
Some kind of symbol drawn in blood. A sick altar of human flesh. the symbol in the bathroom and the altar of flesh and teeth, I'd say the motive was some kind of occult religion. The big question is, who did it? Pieces
Go.
of glass from the window in the hall found inside the house. A pistol,
Gun.
fully loaded. A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room.
Nope.
An open bottle of whiskey. I'd say Boccherini was drinking in the dining room when his assailant burst in through the window. Boccherini pulled his gun, but the murderer disarmed him before he could shoot. Where did the torture begin?
Just that it started in the living room, so
A broken table, scratched and covered in blood. A blood-stained wristwatch, with the glass broken and the strap fastened. 2 pools of blood, one on either side of the dining room table. The bloodstains show that the murderer began to torture Boccherini on the dining table itself. That was where his hands were torn off. As a result, his wristwatch fell to the ground. How did the body reach its current position? The trail of
There.
blood from the dining room to the hall. The lamp, torn off its brackets and blocking the stairs. Boccherini, already minus hands, was dragged into the hall, where the murderer used the brackets of the lamp to complete his macabre diorama. A car with Vermont plates. The initials OB on a cigarette case. 1. It has Vermont plates. 2. It's too luxurious for a criminal of his standing.
I think we already
3.
covered that.
The initials on the cigarette case don't match his name. The next possibility that needs to be ruled out is that the car was stolen. There should be evidence that there was someone else in the house. Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from the dirty dishes and glasses prove that Boccherini ate lasagna with one other person. Was Boccherini's guest still in the house when the murderer showed up? A broken
Obviously.
whiskey glass found in the dining room. A door in the kitchen. What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back. It seems clear that Boccherini and his guest were drinking when the murderer took them by surprise. The real question is, what happened to the witness? Did they escape? Did the murderer take them? Or are they still in the house? A door in the kitchen, locked from the inside. A door in the corridor jammed shut.
How do you know it isn't the killer in there?
Locked door in the kitchen. One locked door could be a coincidence, but 2 locked doors which open onto the same room can't be. Either I'm completely wrong, or the witness is in that room. But I need Milton to open one of those doors.
Hey, that didn't work before.
Mr. Ness, can you open the door for me?
It was open. Why did you ring?
I thought I should use the doorbell so I wouldn't startle you.
When I came in, I pressed the doorbell and it didn't work.
Well, in light of the facts, I deduced that it was your finger that wasn't working. So, what can you tell me to restore my faith in you as a detective?
What is that?
Come on, you know what a camera
Not a
is.
good start. It's a camera, so Alphonse can see all this.
All right, follow me. Boccherini had company for dinner. Someone from Vermont with the initials OB. Someone whose social status was a lot higher, but who was on the same side of the law. He served lasagna, and after clearing away the dishes, they opened a bottle of whiskey in the dining room. That was when the murderer burst in on them, coming through the window which he broke with his own body weight. Boccherini, or maybe his guest, pulled a gun, but it was a waste of time. The murderer was so fast he was disarmed before he could fire. He focused his attention on Boccherini, totally ignoring the guest.
Don't
If the
ever
murder to
use
the air.
totally in
He then threw against
sentence.
the dining room table so hard that one of the glasses of whiskey was embedded in Boccarini's back. He span around, clawing at the table, and immediately afterwards the murderer ripped off his hands. I have no idea how he did it, but all the evidence suggests he just pulled. Blood sprayed everywhere. The wristwatch fell to the ground. He dragged him through the corridor into the hall.
Is it just me?
He tore down the lamp.
That white
from the bracket,
shadow
and
thing
stabbed steel
kinda
bars
have
into
the
his
size and the
He skewered
shape
one
of
the iron
Milton.
bars, possibly taken from the fence outside, and pulled out his teeth one by one. Finally, he scooped out his eyes with a teaspoon. Boccarini must have been dead when the murderer went to the bathroom with his hands in his teeth. There, he arranged them to make an altar, weaving the fingers together and placing the teeth inside. Next, he painted something on the wall in blood, a symbol which I don't recognize, but which could have some kind of ritualistic significance. When he'd finished his artwork, he left. I don't know what he did with the eyes.
You're telling me that someone did all this armed with a teaspoon?
More or less.
And you worked all this out on your own, just by looking?
More or less.
I don't know which of the two of you scares me more. Wait a second. What about the guest?
Right. Come with me.
Nope. No guest.
Nothing.
Turns out Mr. Untouchable isn't infallible. But you were close. Congratulations.
This must be Boccarini's office. Let's take a quick look around.
All yours.
Oh, we can talk to him. Jail?
Why'd you go to jail?
For murder, but
You didn't do it, of course.
of course I did it. But I didn't intend to.
I'd like to know more about that.
We've lost the only lead we had to help us find Sophia Capone.
You think Boccarini's murder could be related?
Maybe. It's hard to say. You're at a crime scene, and you sit down to read?
Titus Andronicus. One of the actors on the Hindenburg lent it to me. They're performing it soon. You couldn't ask for more appropriate reading material. Murder, mutilation, torture. Shakespeare's got it all.
Jesus.
That's a lot of money.
$1 million here.
Mm-hmm. Boccarini's?
I'd be surprised. Probably his guests, and I doubt it was to pay Boccarini for his services. None of his forgeries are worth that much.
I think that depends how fast and how much you need it.
Carlo, I have
Then
the
again,
goods
it
for
doesn't
a
really
week,
fit that he'd
but
be
I have
sitting
to take the children to school
dinner with the
tomorrow.
guy.
I can't make the meetup. Friday, same time, same place. It's signed N.I.
Mm-hmm. These initials are getting to be a pain in the ass, right?
I have to take the kids to school tomorrow. I don't think this is some loving divorced daddy, Milton.
I take back what I just said.
The driver's license of one John Martinson and Osmund Burke. Oh,
Guy
boy.
from the paper.
Do we know
Guy
him?
who killed his family.
The eldest son of the richest family in Vermont, convicted rapist. He was arrested thanks to the
Saw that in
testimony of his
episode
father,
1.
who wound up disinheriting him. He escaped from
Hard
prison
one, if
last
you like.
week. He broke into the family home and slit the throats of all his relatives one by one.
Yep.
Opened the safe and got away with a fortune.
They don't make jails like they used to. All starting to add up, isn't it?
Out of my way!
Okay. Are you gonna help, Milton?
Milton! Milton! You're doing fine on your own, Mr. Ness. I believe in you.
Don't you just love quick time events? Take it back. I don't think Milton is nice at all. Yeah, throw him to the knife. That's a great idea.
Get out of my way, I said! He's coming back!
Who's coming back?
Him! The monster!
How are you here to help,
Kill
Milton?
Boccherini?
He was a monster! Oh, get your hands off me, Negro!
What was he like? Describe him for me.
It was a monster. Red and black. I mean, his head reached the ceiling. He tore off his hands with his claws. It was a monster! A monster! Should I hit him again?
No.
Burke, shut up. You're Osmund Burke, right?
Yes.
Good. Now pay attention, Burke, because I have a question for you.
What's with this?
Who is this money for?
Nikolai Ivankov. Rings a bell.
One of Capone's right-hand men 20 years ago. What does this stuff about kids mean?
I don't know.
Calm down, Burke. You were going to meet up with him, right?
Yes, at the docks, berth 42, right next to where the alligator 3 is moored.
So what's the meetup time?
Tomorrow at noon. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? No, it's going to be tonight.
What about the license? You didn't ask about that.
Don't get too comfortable. We'll be there in no time.
Probably a bad idea to take him to the hospital. He already looks pretty banged up. Police station is a no-go too. We're working for the bad guys. So, diner it is.
There are certain types of people I don't allow in my diner. But today, I have no choice but to make an exception.
I'm afraid not, Mr. Ness. I have to take him to Alphonse.
Out of the question. I know his temper. He'll beat him to a pulp.
Listen, if the missing girl was your granddaughter, you wouldn't forgive me if I didn't let you see the only suspect who could lead us to her.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Shucks.
What?
I thought that bloodbath would cover up the smell of stale grease. I was wrong.
Anyway, I think that's it for this time. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. Bye.